Stohl reading from Beautiful Creatures.
Okay, that's not really fair. I have no accent. I could hand it to Michael and see what he could make of my passage. Beautiful Creatures is a story told by Ethan Waite, who is a fairly regular boy who lives in what he would call the epicenter of the middle of nowhere in the South. And a very not regular girl moves into town. And he's just come back from having dinner in a very not regular dinner at her house, which has generated a few questions he now wants answered. And I'm blind, so I'm going to do a glasses switch. These are not the glasses of my narrator. She was picking at the nail polish on her bare feet, which was how I knew she had something to say. I don't really know how to do this. I've never had to say it before, so I don't know how it will all come out. I rubbed my messy hair with one hand. Whatever it is, you can tell me. I know what it's like to have a crazy family. You think you know crazy? You have no idea. She took a deep breath. Whatever she was about to say, it was hard for her. I could see her struggling to find the words. The people in my family and me, we have powers. We can do things that regular people can't do. We're born that way. We can't help it. We are what we are. It took me a second to understand what she was talking about, or at least what I thought she was talking about. Magic. Where was Amma when I needed her? I was afraid to ask, but I had to know. And what exactly are you? It sounded so crazy that I almost couldn't say the words. Casters, she said quietly. Casters? She nodded. Like spellcasters? She nodded again. I stared at her. Maybe she was crazy. Like witches? Ethan, don't be ridiculous. I exhaled, momentarily relieved. Of course, I was an idiot. What was I thinking? That's such a stupid word, really. It's like saying jocks or geeks. It's a dumb stereotype. My stomach lurched. Part of me wanted to bolt up the steps, lock the door, and hide in my bed. But then another part of me, a bigger part, wanted to stay. Because hadn't a part of me known all along? I may not have known what she was, but I had known there was something about her. Something bigger than just that junky necklace and those old chucks. What was I expecting from someone who could bring on a downpour, who could talk to me without even being in the room, who could control the way the clouds floated in the sky, who could fling open the shutters to my room from my front yard? Well, can you come up with a better name? There's not one word that describes all the people in my family. Is there one word that describes everyone in yours? I wanted to break the tension, to pretend she was just like any other girl, to convince myself that this could be okay. Yeah, lunatics. We're casters. That's the broadest definition. We all have powers. We're gifted, just like some families are smart and others are rich or beautiful or athletic. I knew what the next question was, but I didn't want to ask it. I already knew she could break a window just by thinking about it. I didn't know if I was ready to find out what else she could shatter. Anyway, it was starting to feel like we were talking about just another crazy Southern family like the sisters. The Ravenwoods had been around as long as any family in Gatlin. Why should they be any less crazy? Or at least that's what I tried to tell myself. Lena took the silence as a bad sign. I knew I shouldn't have said anything. I told you to leave me alone. Now you probably think I'm a freak. I think you're talented. You think my house is weird. You already admitted that. So you redecorated a lot. I was trying to hold it together. I was trying to keep her smiling. I knew what it must have cost her to tell me the truth. I couldn't run out on her now. I turned around and pointed to the lit study above the azalea bushes, hidden behind the thick wooden shutters. Look. See that window over there? That's my dad's study. He works all night and sleeps all day. Since my mom died, he hasn't left the house. He won't even show me what he's writing. That's so romantic, she said quietly. No, it's crazy. But nobody talks about it because there's nobody left to talk to, except Amma, who hides magic charms in my room and screams at me for bringing old jewelry into the house. I could tell she was almost smiling. Well, maybe you are a freak. I'm a freak, you're a freak. Your house makes rooms disappear. My house makes people disappear. Your shut-in uncle is nuts, and my shut-in dad is a lunatic. So I don't know what you think makes us so different. Lena smiled, relieved. I'm trying to find a way to see that as a compliment. It is.
Margaret Stohl, reading from Beautiful Creatures. If you're just joining us, this is the Making the Magic Happen.